All right, what is up, everybody? Hey, let's talk some Washington Commanders football today. If you are new to this channel, we love covering the teams that the national media seems to spend less time on. Don't worry. The Commanders are the only team in the NFC East that we talk about. The only team. I want to be really clear on that. And I think they should get more love. I really do. And, hey, as you know, we are Detroit Lions fans here. Got the, wherever I'm pointing, where you got the Hutch jersey over there. I get that. Painful because you beat us in the playoffs last year. But we are seeing some good things after a week of camp with the Commanders, and we have some standout players. And I want to talk to you about how there was a bunch of good news. Not some good news, a bunch of good news from this team. So I'm going to give you some standout players and why I would be excited about it. And the first one is a player that you're not going to know much about. The other one, then I'm going to give you a couple more. One's going to be a rookie that you are going to know, and one is going to be a veteran. So we're going to get into that. But the first person I want to talk about is wide receiver Ja'Cory Brooks. This is a very interesting guy. Ja'Cory Brooks, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on him. This is a guy that was in Florida. He grew up in Florida. He was a five-star recruit, all right? A five-star recruit coming out of high school, drafted to Alabama. In his sophomore season of college, he'd led Alabama with 8 receiving touchdowns. He played in all the games and had a stat line of 39 catches, 674 yards with an average of 17.3 yards receiving per catch. He also did some kick return. So there's a little explosion and a little elusiveness in that. Then he only played 9 games. He only played 9 games in 2023 and missed the end of the season with a lingering shoulder? That was a tough word to say, wasn't it? Hello. All right. With a shoulder injury, and that's part of the reason why. And then he transferred. So he transfers out of Alabama, goes to Louisville, was first team All-ACC, had 61 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And that's what makes this guy so intriguing. His biggest advantage is his touchdown rate. But I'm going to give you something else that's even cooler on this guy. PFF came out with an article about wide receivers and who had the highest grade, PFF grade, at every important statistical category. And nobody in the country was better on contested catches than Ja'Cory Brooks. Nobody. All right, it says this is before the draft. He might fall into the undrafted range. He has solid length and ball skills to win downfield, evidenced by his class-leading PFF grade on contested targets. His 69.6% contested catch rate was the best mark by any receiver with 12 or more qualifying targets this year's class. He also notched 5 touchdowns and a 133.6 passer rating when targeted on contested looks in the red zone. In the red zone. So let's look at your wide receiver room. You've got Terry McLaurin. We know he's the man. All right, Deebo Samuel is new. We might talk about him in a minute. Noah Brown, Luke McCaffrey, KJ Osborne's here now. Do any of these guys seem like jump ball guys? Any of them? There might be a spot on this roster. There might be a spot on this roster for Ja'Cory Brooks. It's not an easy shot, but there's a chance he makes it and becomes a contested catch wizard and someone that everybody's like, ooh, I like him a lot. All right, now let's go to the other side of the ball. I'm going to give you 2 players on the other side of the ball. The first one is a rookie. It's Trey Amos. We talked about how this was an absolute steal for the Commanders. An absolute bargain. All right, absolute bargain for the Commanders because he was so athletic, he was tall, he was long, and he was everything that you would want. He was everything that you would want a cornerback to be. The Commanders had a first-round grade on him, as they should. This is his RAS score, and so far in camp, if you don't know RAS, it's relative athletic score compared to all corners who have ever tested. All right, so he's upper echelon as far as skill goes. All right, with height, with size is good, and speed is remarkable. And the Commanders have started him at outside corner for the entirety of camp. The entirety of camp. Trey Amos has been on that side, and it says he absolutely is looking the part and that he has been fantastic in man coverage already. All right. And this is when a lot of times you're just in helmets or almost nothing, right? You're in shells. You're not in full practice gear. So it's harder for a corner to look good in that than when everything else is happening, because there's time for the running backs to run the routes, all that kind of stuff. All right. Now there's another person off to a hot start, and it's because of Trey Amos, and that's cornerback Mikey Sainristil. I'm going to call him Mikey Sainristil. Hey, I got my Wolverine stuff. He's a Wolverine. We're coming out of Michigan. We're Lions fans, and I'm a big Michigan fan. And another strong start. You want to know why? Because he's back in the slot. Look, Mike Sainristil has always been able to play outside. He's always been able to play outside, but he's 5'10", 180 pounds. He is better in the slot. That's what he does well. So with him being in the slot, it is allowing him to play well. And that is why I'm going to give you a bonus here. I said triple dose of good news. I'm going to give you a bonus on the final player that I want to talk about. And then we're going to give some kind of overall things. And it's Deebo Samuel. They aren't allowed, the beat reporters, to get too specific with what he's doing. But what they said is the Commanders have taken advantage of Deebo Samuel's versatility. Okay, so let me talk to you about something. You've got Trey Amos, who they're saying is already looking like a day one starter at the number 2 corner spot. You have Mike Sainristil, who is going to become one of the best slot corners in the NFL. May already be one of the best, right? And then you already have Lattimore on the other side. So you have a phenomenal cornerback crew, but yet they're talking about how good Deebo Samuel is playing because he is a matchup nightmare. He is trying to prove desperately that he still can have great value in an offense and make an offense more multiple. What I love about this Commanders offense that's different than when Deebo was in San Francisco. And this, I absolutely love this. So with Deebo Samuel, it takes some pressure off of Jaden Daniels' legs. Sometimes you can find unique ways to get Deebo the ball that are non-traditional passing, and it doesn't have to be scramble drill for Jaden Daniels. And it can get him easy completions. It can get all those different things, and then Deebo Samuel can use his ridiculous athleticism to make plays. It takes pressure off him. And when he gets hurt, if Deebo gets hurt, because he probably will at some point, because that's just kind of what his career has been, well, then you can use more of Jaden Daniels' legs. The 49ers didn't really have that opportunity as much with Deebo and Brock Purdy and whoever else they were running out there, through the years. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. And just really exciting to see the things that are happening with the Commanders so far in training camp. Look, it already sounds like the Commanders are exactly what we'd expect them to be, one of the best teams in the NFL. All right, thanks for watching. If you want more content, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next Commanders video.